This is the second video to give mainstay tenants more information about the possibility of mainstay and Houselink joining together. In this video, we answer many of the common questions we are hearing from tenants. The first one is, who is Houselink? Mainstay and Houselink are two of the largest supportive housing providers in Toronto. We've worked together for years. They are a perfect partner for us because we are similar in many ways. We have the same mission to provide housing and supports for those in need. We share the same values. Tenants in both our organizations sit on the board and have a say in decisions. We have similar tenants. Many of our houses are in the same neighborhoods. And we have the same funders. Houselink also provides many supports for their tenants. Our goal is to take what each of us does best and create a stronger organization. If you want to learn more about them, visit www.houselink.on.ca. How has the housing environment changed? Health and nonprofit housing are changing a lot, and we can't get left behind. For us at Mainstay, there are many things that impact us, such as we own housing for which the funding is ending over the next 10 years. We need to take a smarter and more efficient approach to protect the housing we have. In addition to the housing we own, we also lease hundreds of units in the private market and are at risk of losing this housing because of rent increases. Both Mainstay and Houselink want to build housing we own and operate, so we are not as dependent on for-profit landlords. "26% of our housing stock is shared and lacks accessibility. This is stock that we bought in the early 80s. It was at a time when many people were leaving psychiatric wards and cramped rooming houses were the only option. Today, we know that most people prefer their own apartment, and by joining together, we have the ability to create new, self-contained units. Only 11 of our properties have an elevator, and our tenants are aging and need accessible units. The funding and other resources, like government-owned land that is being made available to address homelessness, is very competitive. Size and capacity are going to matter, especially in a city like Toronto. Together, we'll be of a size and have the financial capacity needed to get the funding we need to create housing in a big city and build housing that anyone would love to live in. The health sector that we work in is becoming more and more integrated. It means that we have much less say and independence. Being a larger size will give us more control over our decisions. We can create our own future without being told we have to integrate with someone we don't know as well as Houselink. Are we being forced to join together? No, it's a choice, and both Houselink and Mainstay's boards support it unanimously. If we join together, how will services be affected? You will continue to get this level of service you need, both in support and programs. In fact, the agreement to join together makes the commitment that we will work to improve access to support and programs. Because so many of Houselink and Mainstay's buildings are so close to each other, you will have easier access to services near you. Also, the savings realized by having a single administration will allow more funds to be put into better support and programs. We know how important the support relationship is to our tenants, and our goal is to disrupt that relationship as little as possible. Will anyone lose their job? Because there will be one administration, it's expected that there will be some adjustments at head office. We fully expect that frontline staff roles that are there to serve and support you will actually increase. Everyone will be treated fairly, and we are still figuring out if most of the changes can be made through retirements or the end of contracts. Will I have to move or will my rent change? No, you will be able to keep your housing. And the good news is we'll have access to a larger pool of housing, and our goal is to create more high quality housing. So, tenants who currently live in shared accommodations will have greater opportunity to move to self contained units. Current tenants will also have the opportunity to be the first tenants in any brand new housing that the joint organization develops. Rent changes will be like they normally are. Joining together won't change that. Will I have access to Houselink programs? A key goal for joining together with Houselink is to expand services and programs for tenants. Where there is capacity for a Houselink program, mainstay tenants may get access. We will work through those agreements and also look at new opportunities to improve programs if we join together. Will I be able to move into a Houselink building? If we join together, there will be more options available to you for housing. The joint organization will have a single internal transfer list and a process that will be established to assess available units and how to fill them. How is a bigger organization going to be better? In this environment, you need capacity to develop housing at the scale needed to address homelessness here in Toronto. But bigger is actually better for a lot of other reasons. We'll have a bigger team to support you better. We'll have a larger budget to offer you more supports. We'll have access to more housing options. Being a bigger organization gives us more control and access to more funding. Houselink and Mainstay will be positioned as leaders and will have a stronger voice in the sector and with decision makers. While the joint organization will be bigger, it will continue to have a core value of engaging and being responsive to tenants, and tenants will continue to be voting members of the organization. Will the name of the organization change? That has not been decided. If there is a yes vote, the new board will need to discuss if we keep both the Houselink and Mainstay names or potentially consider something new. Tenants will have a say in any name changes. What happens if the vote is no? If tenants vote that the two organizations should not join together, Then both boards will look at what other options there are to achieve their goals together. No matter what, each organization needs to change somehow in order to thrive in a rapidly changing world. The reality is, the boards see that coming together is, by far, the best way to achieve their missions and do more. Integration is the best way to allow Mainstay and Houselink to survive in the future, protect what they have, and lift more people out of homelessness. If the vote is no, both boards will have to look at their options to see if there is another integration model that makes sense. We hope this video has answered many of your questions. If you still want more information, talk to your supportive housing worker or call Mainstay to speak with someone. If you want to learn more about Houselink, you can visit their website at www.houselink.on.ca. Thank you for watching. Please reach out if you have any questions and need more information.